Hi Fergus, Oceana here with G3 Agency with your free website audit for Pavescapes in Norcross, Georgia. In this free SEO website audit provided by G3 Agency, I'm going to show you 3 to 4 things that you can do to get Pavescapes in front of the people who are searching for paver and retaining wall services in the Atlanta metro area. Like I said on the phone, I don't expect anything in return for this video, but I would love some feedback from you on whether it was helpful and whether I did a good job of explaining things. I really do my best to make these videos as educational as I possibly can for for business owners like you, because I want you to have the knowledge walking away from this to be able to make your own decision about what you're going to do going forward and if you're going to take action on these things with or without me involved. I really want you to be able to independently follow of these instructions. So if I did not do a good job of explaining it in a way that you can walk away with that information and use it, I would really like to know. Okay, so basically, the first thing that I always look for when I go to a website to audit it is a big click to call phone number in the corner, or at least at the top. And you do have your phone number listed very visibly obvious right here, which is great. But I would make it a click to call phone number, which means that the 70%, almost 70% of visitors that are coming to your website that are statistically going to be on their cell phone can easily tap that with their finger and it'll pull up their phone app and call you right up, and that really helps with your conversion rate. Now that's really all I'm going to say on the conversion rate, meaning like how many people actually call after landing on your site. Most of my efforts are getting people to your site, so that's what I'm going to be focusing on for the rest of this video. So the main thing with getting people to your site is having lots of really good content. And when I say content, I mean the words on the page. So if I click Control A, you can see all this blue lit up. Those are the words, right? Obviously. And then if I click Control C, I can copy them and throw them into my little word counter. I can see that you have 279 words on your home page. That is not nearly enough. Google really likes content, really loves it. And so if you throw like 3,000 words on your home page, you can put it further down so that it's not such a word wall, you know. That's really going to help to show Google, as long as those words are relevant, of course, that you are a subject matter expert, and that's what they want to show to their searchers. It's very important to them. So you're definitely going to want to increase the words on your homepage, and then 1,500 or more words on the other pages as well, like your catalogs page, portfolio services, etc. And then if I right click on an image and click Save Image As, I can see this image was saved as portfolio_2, which was probably perfectly helpful for the person throwing the website together. However, that's not as helpful as if you save this image again, but as a search term that people are actually typing into Google when they're looking for your services and they're in your service area. And I'll show you how to find those key phrases that people are actually typing in. But first I'm going to introduce you to this. This is Ahrefs. This is my favorite tool that I use. It gives us an in-depth look into how a website's performing, because it's one thing for it to look really nice, which yours totally does. It's beautiful. It's another thing for it to actually function as a lead generation machine, which is my specialty. So I'm going to introduce you to these couple metrics here. Your UR and your DR scores stand for URL rating and domain rating, respectively. And they say basically how, on a scale from 0 to 100, how trustworthy does Google think that this exact web page is, so in this case your home page, and then your entire website as a whole, also again respectively UR and DR. We do want these to be higher, especially your DR score. What I can tell by just looking at this imbalance here is that you've put quite a bit, or whoever you have, you know, hired to help you with this stuff, has put a lot of effort into ranking this home page, sending lots of backlinks and referring domains to it, and I'll explain those in a second. But they haven't really done that same stuff for the other pages on your website, which is causing an imbalance and has actually become a weak spot for your website. And basically it looks to Google like you're trying really hard to show up in the front page, but maybe you don't actually have the knowledge to back it up. So you're definitely going to want to put more backlinks and referring domains toward the other pages of your site as well to create a more of a balanced score. Okay, so backlinks and referring domains, just in case you don't know, a backlink is any link that goes from another website back to your website. A referring domain is any website that has at least one of those links on there. So you've got a total of 32 websites pointing to your site a total of 82 times. And then over here we have organic keywords. Now organic keyword is, this is how this tool basically defines it, is any phrase that people could type into Google and have you show up in the first 100 results. Now, unfortunately, being in the 11th spot or the 11th result is just about as bad as not existing at all, because hardly anyone goes past the first page of Google, which only shows the top 10 results, before either giving up or finding something that they like, a result that works for them. Which is why you could be showing up for 177 keywords and only be seeing less than 300 traffic each month for those. So we can actually click here and see what you're showing up for, which is kind of fun. So Pool Pavers Atlanta, for example, you are in the #1 position. And this is some cool stuff here. So I'll explain these metrics. This right here, volume, as you can imagine, that's how many people are typing that into Google each month on average. So that's monthly. 100 people are typing exactly Pool Pavers Atlanta on average into Google each month. And then KD stands for keyword difficulty, and what that is again, it's 0 to 100, pardon. How difficult does Ahrefs, this tool, think it would be to get to the first page of Google? So basically you're sitting on the first page, but keyword difficulty is very low. So that means somebody could basically knock you out of that first spot very easily with very little effort on their part, and they could do that just in a couple of months. You could be sitting in the 2nd position easily, and depending on how many people go after that spot, after that keyword, you could be sitting on the 2nd page, so you definitely want to be making sure that your keyword difficulty on those ones that you want to show up for, that you're putting more effort in so that it's not so easy to surpass you. And then so we covered volume, keyword difficulty, traffic. So let's talk about traffic. You've got 100 people are actually typing that into Google each month, and because you're sitting in the first organic position, that you will statistically get about 30% of all that traffic, and you're actually getting just a little more than 30%, 37 here. And that's probably because there's a little bit more than 100 people typing that in, and you probably have a good listing. So this is good. Now, here's some keywords that I thought you might be interested in, making sure that you show up here for these. A keyword difficulty of 6 is, you would think that would be super easy, it's out of 100. But 6 is actually starting to get a little bit more challenging. We really like to go after ones that have difficulty of 5 or below, but because you're already showing up pretty nicely for a lot of these words, I went ahead and chose this one anyway because I don't think that it's out of reach for you at all. And 250 people are typing that into Google each month, which means or at least on average, right? So that means that that first position, whoever's sitting in that top position for that, will statistically get, let me do a little mental math here. If you get 30% of 100, 60, about 75, I think I might be right, about 75 people will be going to that first result there on average each month, which is a pretty good amount for coming to your site. So this is what happens when we type Pavers Atlanta into Google. For example, now there are a ton of other ones too. You're welcome to pause the video and take a look at these. But I don't want to sit here and spend too much time on it because I've got to make this less than 15 minutes. Okay, so this is what happens when we type this into Google. We got ads up here. They have their time and place, but most people just skip right past them. And then we have the map pack, and that's spelled MAPPACK. This is what we're talking about when we say map pack. And how you get up into this area right here is a little different than how you get into the organic results, which is down here, and I'll talk about that in a second. So how you get up in here in the map pack is with citations. A citation is similar to a backlink in that it's a reference to your business and it does give you credibility, but instead of helping you get into the organic results, this will help you get into the map pack, and instead of being a backlink from another website, it is a listing of your name, address, and phone number exactly the same way that is listed on your Google My Business, or GMB as we call it in the industry. So your Google My Business is, I'm sure you already have one, whether you actually have claimed it or not, that's a different question. But what you do to find it is you type your own business name into the Google search bar, and then if you can't find it just with your name, you can add your phone number as well, and that often helps you find it. It'll show up on this side of the results on your computer, and it'll list a bunch of information about you. You just want to make sure that your name, address, and phone number are exactly correct, because then you're going to take that information and go to different directories online like Yelp, Yext, CityStar, White Pages, Yellow Pages, Facebook, etc. And you're going to go list your information on those directories, and that's going to help boost your popularity, basically telling Google that you're relevant and that people are talking about you and you really do exist and you are in this area. And that's going to help to show you up here. If you end up in the top 3 results in the maps, you'll end up on the map pack, which is on the first page of Google, which is very helpful. Okay, so now that that's out of the way, we'll talk about the real winner here, which is this spot right here. So this is that #1 organic result that I was talking about that gets 30% of views. I mean, not views, clicks. So, and you're actually on the first page for this one. You're down here. You're in the 3rd spot. So statistically, if 250 people are coming and 75% of them are coming to here, you're getting about half of that. So I would expect that you're getting about, oh gosh, what's half of 75? That one's a tough one. I'm not great with mental math. Between 30 and 40, right? So, I mean, that's something, but you could be getting twice that if you're up here. So let's talk about how you can increase your visibility. So what we do is we go to the website that's showing up ahead of us, and we look at it and we think, what is it that they're doing right? What is it that we can do better than them, right? So I'm looking at the amount of words they have on their homepage or on this page right now, and we're not trying to beat out their whole website really. We're just trying to beat out this one page here because that's the one that's showing up ahead of us on that key phrase. So they've got some words here, but something I do notice is that they're kind of, you know, they have Atlanta pavers, and then they have Alpharetta, Georgia right here, and then Marietta, and they're kind of throwing a lot of different key phrases onto the same page, whereas if you were to just focus on Atlanta for one page and just focus on Alpharetta, that might give you a boost, but it's also going to be more work to be able to stay ahead for all of those. Another thing you can do to make sure to get ahead, let's see, save image as. You can see the top subpage, that's not a key phrase. So they're not taking advantage of the saving their images properly, right? So that's another way we can get ahead. And then if we go over here and throw them into Ahrefs, we can see that they've got a UR of 17, which is lower than yours. But they've got a DR, remember this is for their entire website. UR is for just that one page. Their DR score is much higher than yours. So even though they don't have as many backlinks and referring domains to this page as you do to your home page, they're showing up ahead of you probably because of this DR score right here. And then we can actually go in here too. They're showing up for a lot less organic keywords than you are, but they're pretty good keywords. Patio pavers, Alpharetta, etc. I'm running out of time here, but I just want to give you a quick warning about keywords. You really want to make sure that it has something that you do and a place that you do it. Otherwise, you know, if it's just like brick pavers, but it didn't say Atlanta, the volume would be very much higher, likely, but those people typing it in won't necessarily be in your service area, so you don't want to go after those keywords. Like pavers delivered down here, not a good keyword because it doesn't have an area. Driveway pavers at Alpharetta though is a good one because it's got something you do and a place that you do it. I don't have much time left, so this is my ending screen, my contact information. Thank you so much for your time watching this, and I look forward to your feedback. Okay, bye.